Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Bookeemonsters. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is the channel called Bookeemonsters. My name is PK, and it is Thursday, March the 21st. Hope you are having a good day. Thank you so much for watching if you're watching now. Thank you for watching if you are watching it in replay. I very much appreciate that you're checking out the new releases this week, and that's what we do on the show. We look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week, and we look at it genre by genre each weekday day. So on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. On Wednesdays, we look at romance. On Thursdays, excuse me, like today, we look at fantasy and science fiction. And on Fridays, it's kind of freeform Friday, so we look at whatever we feel like looking at. Sometimes it's more cozy mysteries because there's a lot of them. Let's see, quick announcements. Yes, we do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes I'm able to start a little earlier than that if the traffic going home goes in my favor. I live outside town, so it takes me about 20-25 minutes to get home. And then I have to walk Keo real quickly, and then I jump on as soon as I can. And then our next sprints after that are on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and those go for 5 hours. Get rid of this banner. Jumping in. This is called The Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis, science fiction. This cozy science fiction novel tells a story of misfits, rebels, found family, and a mystery that spans the stars. Welcome to the Grand Albina Hotel, home of the finest food, the sweetest service, and the very best views the galaxy has to offer. All year round, it moves from planet to planet, system to system, pampering guests across the furthest reaches of the Milky Way. The last word in suborbital luxury and an absolute magnet for intrigue. Intrigues such as, why are there love poems in the lobby inbox? How many Imperial spies are currently on board? What is the true purpose of the Problem Solvers Conference? And perhaps more pertinently, who is driving this ship? Each guest has a secret. Every member of staff, a universe unto themselves. At the center of these interweaving lives and interlocking mysteries stands Carl, one-time stowaway, long-time manager, devoted caretaker to the hotel. It's the love of his life and the only place he's ever called home. But as forces beyond Carl's comprehension converge on the Albina, he has to face one final question. When is it time to let go? And the little tag on the cover says, "You're home away from homeworld." I'm intrigued. I will admit, I am intrigued. I like science fiction. But I don't like aliens in them. I know, it's weird. But I like stories of humans in space, dealing with space. Aliens don't do it for me. The Day Tripper by James Goodhand. The right guy, the right place, the wrong time. Oh, this is going to be a time. Well, we kind of knew that from the title and the cover. It's 1995, and Alex Dean has it all. A spot at Cambridge University next year, the love of an amazing woman named Holly, and all the time in the world ahead of him. That is until a brutal encounter with a ghost from his past sees him beaten, battered, and almost drowning in the Thames. He wakes the next day to find he's in a messy, derelict room he's never seen before, in grimy clothes he doesn't recognize, with no idea of how he got there. A glimpse in the mirror tells him he's older, much older, and has been living a hard life, his features ravaged by time and poor decisions. He snatches a newspaper and finds it's 2010, 15 years since the fight. After finally drifting off to sleep, Alex wakes the following morning to find it's now 2019, another 9 years later. But the next day, it's 1999. Never knowing which day is coming, he begins to piece together what happens in his life after that fateful night by the river. But what exactly is going on? Why does his life look nothing like he thought it would? What about Cambridge and Holly? In this page-turning adventure, Alex must navigate his way through the years to learn the small actions have untold impact, and that might be all he needs to save the people he loves, and equally importantly, himself. I am also intrigued. That reminds me of that mystery. What was it? Another Place, Another Time? What was that one called? Oh yeah, I bet an easier way to find it would be this way. Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. That one goes back in time to certain points leading to her son killing somebody, seeing her son kill somebody. So I'm also intrigued. I've got a couple options. This is a good morning. Deborah says, "Good morning. Good morning, Deborah." And Mary, good morning. Happy Thursday. We have our baby. Finally, baby born last night at 9:42. She's a big girl, over 9 pounds. She is beautiful. And they were going to name her Annie, right? Oh, congratulations. It's great grandma, isn't it? Now? Or is it just grandma? Either way, congratulations. Oh, do you get to see her soon? Mary says, "Hi, Deborah. It sounds interesting." Yes, we've got a couple interesting things here. Do they live close to you? I have so many questions. The Last Blood Carver by Vanessa Lee. This is young adult fantasy, which is hugely popular. So we will look at it. Nika is a blood carver, a cold-hearted, ruthless being who can alter human biology with just a touch. In the industrial city of Thumas, Nika is seen not as a healer, but a monster that kills for pleasure. And in the city's criminal underbelly, the rarest of monsters are traded for gold. When Nika is finally caught by the infamous butchers, she's forced to heal the last witness to a high-profile murder. As Nika delves into the investigation, all signs point to Kochin, an alluring yet entitled physician's aide. Despite his relentless attempts to push her out of his opulent world, something inexplicable draws Nika to him. But when she discovers Kochin is not who he claims to be, Nika will be faced with a greater, more terrifying evil lurking in the city's center. Her only chance to survive lies in a terrible choice: become the dreaded monster the city fears, or risk jeopardizing the future of her kind. This is being compared to Cinder meets Divine Rivals, which I have read both. Medical magic system and lush Vietnam-inspired fantasy world. The Revenant games. Following this is a fantasy following a teen determined to win the competition held by warring vampire and witch kingdoms. I'm out. Only to develop complicated feelings for the vampire she's supposed to hand over. Blood is survival for 17-year-old Bly, who lives in the poverty-stricken human villages caught between enemy vampire and witch kingdoms. Most of the time, vampires and witches live in uneasy truce, buying human blood for their food and spells. Ew. But for 2 weeks a year, the ceasefire dissolves and they hold the Revenant Games. They compare it to All of Us Villains and Kingdom of the Wicked. They always forget to add the Hunger Games. Sorry, games. Hunger Games did it first. Any human can play in, well, other than mythology. Any human can play in the games for either the witches or the vampires. Alongside life-changing riches, the witches will raise one person from the dead for whoever captures the highest-ranking vampire. In turn, the vampires offer immortality to whoever captures the most powerful witch. For most humans, the games are a ticket out of poverty. For Bly, it's a chance to get back her dead sister Elise and save the life of her dying best friend Emerson. Together, she and Emerson forge a dangerous plan to play both sides and win both prizes. resurrection for Elise, and immortality for Emerson. But when the vampire they capture stirs a passion in Bly that she hasn't felt in a long time, all of what, 17? She hasn't felt it in so long. She'll have to make a choice, her sister or the boy who's shown her there's more to life than just survival. I know vampires are huge, so somebody will be interested in that. Great grandma, that's right. And yes, her name is Annie. They live in Richmond, about 2 hours away from me. We'll give them some space for a bit, but we'll visit soon. Oh yeah. They is this their first one? Vampires. Goodbye, PK. No can do. Exactly. I'm out. I do not find them romantic or attractive. Cascade Failure, Ambit's Run #1 by L.M. Sagas. High Octane, sci-fi adventure blending somebody's Divide series with Firefly. Okay, Firefly. Hope you live up to it. It features a fierce, messy, chaotic space family, vibrant worlds, and an exploration of the many ways to be or not to be human. There are only three real powers in the spiral: the corporate power of the trust versus the union's labor's leverage. Between them, the guild tries to keep everyone's hands above the table. It ain't easy. Branded a guild deserter, Jal accidentally lands a ride on a guild ship, helmed by an AI with a ship's engineer medic who doesn't see much of a difference between the two jobs. And don't make me shoot you, XO. The guild crew of the Ambit is a little different. They're also in over their heads, responding to a distress call from an abandoned planet. They find a mass grave and a live programmer who knows how it happened. The Trust has plans. This isn't the first dead planet, and it's not going to be the last, unless the crew of the Ambit can stop it. I am also intrigued. I've been looking for a sci-fi to read in the last couple days, because I haven't read one in quite a while. We have a little 3-year-old boy. He's so excited to have his sister here. Oh, it's going to be big brother. He is a big brother. Song of the Huntress by Lucy Holland. A must read for fans of Circe. Song of the Huntress recasts the folklore behind the wild hunt into a dark feminist fantasy set amidst the legends and beauty of ancient Britain. Well, they said the F word. I'm probably not going to be interested. I'm sorry. I want to read a book. I don't want activism. Britain, 60 AD. Hoping to save her lover, land, and her people from the Romans, Hurla makes a desperate pact with the king of the otherworld. But years pass unheeded in his realm, and she escapes to find everyone she loved long dead. Cursed to wield his blade, she becomes lord of the hunt, and for centuries she rides, reaping wanderer souls, until the night she meets a woman on a bloody battlefield, a Saxon queen with ice-blue eyes. Queen Ethelberg of Wessex is a proven fighter, but when she leads her forces to disaster in battle, her husband's court turns against her. Yet King Ine needs Ethel more than ever. The dead kings of Wessex are waking, and his own brother seeks to usurp him. Her only hope is to master the magic that's lain dormant in his bloodline since the ancient days. When their paths cross, Hurla knows it's no coincidence. Something dark and dangerous is at work in the Wessex court. The otherworld seeks to rise, to bring the people of Britain under its dominion. As she and Ethel grow closer, Hurla must find her humanity and a way to break the curse before it's too late. I'm sorry, that's not a. Yeah, I guess that's a warrior face, but it's not. I'm gonna fall in love with you kind of face. That's a I'm gonna get what I want face. The Shadow Lord, The Cartographer's War by Alison Anderson. Second in the Cartographer's War series or trilogy. It's a pretty cover. Penny Barclay thought she could trust those closest to her. Her mother had been a paragon of virtue, a woman of sense and ingenuity in Penny's eyes. Lou had been Penny's friend, her confidant, her mentor, but both of them had kept dangerous secrets. Now Penny finds herself trapped in the capital with the evidence Prince Aidan, Lord of the Underworld, needs. With the notes she found in her mother's study, they could finally name the cartographer and stop the rebellion running rampant through their kingdom. Only there's one problem. The prince is avoiding her. If she can't figure out how to get him to talk to her, the very kingdom may find themselves redrawn under the cartographer's hand. Guilt dogs Prince Aidan's every footsteps. He can still hear Penelope's screams in his dreams, see the flames devour Berkeley Manor until it was nothing but ashes. But with a murderer on the loose in the capital, he can't risk allowing his feelings to cloud his judgment, even if it means keeping Penelope Barclay far away from him. With Penelope now trapped in the capital, Aidan has to do whatever he can to make the city safe, even if that means running away from the mage girl whose cinnamon hair and emerald eyes shadowing his every move. She's not just a ginger, she has cinnamon hair. The Woods All Black by Lee Mandello. Equal parts historical horror, trans romance, and blood-soaked revenge, all set in the 1920s Appalachia. Leslie Bruin is assigned to the backwoods township of Spar Creek by the Frontier Nursing Service under its usual mandate: vaccinate the flock, birth babies, and weather the judgments of churchy locals who look at him and see a failed woman. Forged in the fires of the Western Front and reborn in the cafes of Paris, Leslie believes he can handle whatever's thrown at him, but Spar Creek holds a darkness beyond his nightmares. Something ugly festers within the local congregation, and its malice has focused on a young person they insist is an unruly tomboy who must be brought to heel. Violence is bubbling when Leslie arrives, ready to spill over, and he'll have to act fast if he intends to be of use. But the hills unfolding Spar Creek have a mind of their own, and the woods are haunted in ways Leslie does not understand. Don't do horror. Invocation, Days of Iron and Clay, first in a possible series. There are three things I know without question. This is by Eileen Aaron. 1. Demons are real. 2. Humans make awful mistakes that get them in demonic trouble more often than you'd think. And 3. I'm the only one who can help them. I straddle the line between the mortal and spiritual realms every day. People might think there's two different places, but they're not. They lay on top of each other. It's messy, and that's why so many people need my help. Since I was little, I've been called all kinds of names: unusual, abnormal, even insane, which is fitting, since they keep throwing me into mental facilities. I've been in and out of them my entire life. But no matter what people say, no matter what I'm risking, I will always help those in need. Because there's an endless war carrying on all around us every minute of every day. One that can't be seen by mortal eyes, but I can see it, the spiritual battle for mortal souls, and I'm working hard to make sure my father is on the losing side. He, Astaroth, Satan's general, is why I can do this. He's why I'm not normal. I can't have friends, a life, or a boyfriend. I won't be selfish enough to drag someone into this fight. But I'm not lonely, not exactly. I have my mom. She's my rock, my best friend, my partner. She helps me do what needs to be done, and she's never afraid when it feels like I'm always afraid. Because I hear my father whispering my name each night, his taunts echoing through the spiritual realm. He's hunting me, and I know the day will come when I must face him again. Every portal I open could be the one that finally pulls me back to hell, and I wonder if I will be brave enough, strong enough, good enough to fight him. My name is Samantha Catherine Lopez, and I am Nephilim. This is my story. Getting a little dark for my taste, but it is somebody's taste. Give me a quest. Give me a fellowship on a quest. That's what I'm asking. The Way of the Quantum Mancer, Part 1. In motion and at rest, with the events of Rise, the Quantumancer behind them, all three protagonists find themselves in different places than they began. Thaddeus Gone, the last of the Valifor, appears to find himself comfortable, establishing a school for his house to spread his teaching to a new generation of wizards, his former familiar Allura venturing out across their claimed domain. To many, this would be a comfortable existence. The world has changed, magic has returned, and he is once more the man he had been in the hallowed past. This should be enough for him. This should have been enough for him. But when news comes from Albany about the expansion of a wizardly democracy, he is drawn out of his home and into that most hated of worlds, the world of politics. Meanwhile, Danica Netherton, witch of the Green Coven of Providence, winters in New York. But it was not the New York she expected to find. In place of the glowing city that never slept, she found a place which had undergone profound change. As doubts about her mission, her quest began to enter her mind, she decided to stay for a time to help the people of Manhattan. Despite the pressure rising for her to continue on her journey west, she had some time, just a little time, to help those around her, to leave New York in better shape than she had found it. As for Edgar Cole, he had become something quite unexpected. Receiving access to a hitherto unknown force, Edgar had become the Quantumancer of Pikeville, KT. He had received the answer to his journey. He wanted to find something special, to be something special, and by luck or happenstance or gift of a god, he had become. But when one question is answered, another question demands attention. Will he embrace the comfort and peace of life in Pikeville with friends and maybe a family? Or does this gift require its own attention? Is there a price demanding to be paid? This saga expands the two previous parts. Okay. Whew. That's all we have, though. I did find a couple things for me to check out further. Floating Hotel and Day Tripper, that time one. So that's good, right? That's absolutely good. Look at that, timing wise. Ho, ho, ho. Absolutely perfect timing. Like we planned it. Not. All right. That is the fantasy and science fiction we have being released this week that I have found. There could be others out there. I don't claim to be comprehensive, but I do my best, and I do my best to make sure they are actually released this week and not previously published, etc., etc. I hope you have a good Thursday. Again, we do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They will go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes and relax after a day. That's time carved out for you. And otherwise, I hope you do have a good Thursday. Thanks, PK. Hope to see you all later. Yes, indeed. And I hope you're reading good books. If you're not reading a book you're enjoying, it's okay to set it aside. It's just not the right time for the author, that book, and you to come together. There's other books. It's okay. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, nom, nom. Have a good day and God bless.